Ladies and gentlemen, this is the main event of the evening.
Hold one, Andre.
You're not good at this. Get out. Let me tell you a personal story about Vince McMahon.
You just made the list.
Sorry, no speak English.
Dummy. Goodbye and good night. Hold two, on bar.
It's still real to me, damn it.
Dummy.
This is the worst town I've ever been in.
Hold three, the moss covered, three-handle family credential.
Mamma mia!
And now,
Unchained.media presents the B Plus Podcast with your host, Greg Unchained.
It's me, Austin. It was me all along, Austin.
number four, armbar.
I will never retire.
I still got 200 more. I got 200 more holes to list.
Fellow B Plus players, welcome to the B Plus Podcast. I am your host, Greg Unchained. I am joined today, I'm a very tired Greg Unchained, and I am joined today by a very tired Big Boy Mikey. How are you, Mikey?
Tired.
Well, yeah, I sort of spoiled that one, didn't I? Yeah, we are tired. We've both very recently gotten back from Melbourne.
Yeah.
I'm having trouble catching up on sleep because I've been catching up on family, and then there's all the news items and wrestling shows that I've missed while I was gone over the weekend. I'm still quite. I'm running on lots of caffeine tablets at the moment.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah. I mean, you at least you got a day on Sunday to you spent the anniversary with the missus and had your fun drive home because you didn't drive.
No.
You cheapo.
No, I don't drive. But no. No. Yeah, we had a nice day on the Sunday, but we still did a lot of walking around, and even as a passenger, like you still get just being on the road for 10 hours, and I wasn't allowed to fall asleep because that would be rude of me, which is fair.
Oh, of course. Yeah, of course. Now, look, I don't get that, though. I'm actually... I think that I missed my calling, and now it's too late because everything's going to be automated soon. I probably should have been a truck driver because, honestly, I love driving. Long distance. Love it. Can't get enough of it.
Nice. Well, there you go. But, yeah, look, I had to go... I should have done what my wife did. My wife took an extra day off because she did drive. But I should have taken an extra day off because going straight back to work today was a little rough. And struggled to get through it, but it's all good. And yeah, I mean, we came home to one hell of a night last night, so I'm excited to get talking about it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so I caught up. I watched part of it last night and caught up on the last part this morning. It was amazing.
Yeah.
But we'll get to that. First, let's talk about some things that we actually haven't seen, but we definitely need to talk about because they are part of the King of Sports podcast. I didn't do the bit. Today is Thursday. You know what that means. It's King of Sports time. We talk. That's how tired we are, folks. We forget our shtick and everything. It's part of a magical ritual that we do, and I wrecked it. I ruined it for everyone. No, it's fine. So yeah, it's King of Sports Day. We're going to talk King of Sportscast. So we're talking about New Japan Pro Wrestling, Ring of Honor, CMLL, and Revolution Pro in the UK. Let's bring it to America first off and start with Ring of Honor. Now, I have not because of the big weekend, I have not been completely up to date on news. I'm still catching up. I have not been completely up to date on TV shows. I'm still catching up. I am yet to get to Ring of Honor TV. I'm yet to get to today's Raw as well, which is going to impact me tomorrow. So I apologize if these podcasts are terrible, but we're still going to report on the results. So I can't give comment as to the quality of the matches or anything of the like, or the quality of the storytelling, which is what I'm really about. I'm really about the storytelling. We know this, but I can comment on what it looks like the storytelling is based on what I've read. Now, ROH TV this week had Coast to Coast return to defeat the Kingdom with a little bit of shenanigans with the Kingdom claim there's a little bit of shenanigans because the Kingdom have this whole conspiracy against them. Matt Taven should be the world champion. I'm sure that Vinny and TK believe they should be the tag team champions as well. There's a conspiracy against them, and the referees do silly things like they don't notice when tags are made, or they do slow counts and other situations of the like, according to the Kingdom. So Coast to Coast making their return after one of them was injured. It's very good to see them back. Unfortunately, I can never remember their actual individual names because I'm a terrible person. But Coast to Coast are back. It's good to see them back in Ring of Honor. Good to see them tagging again.
Interesting.
And yeah, so they get the return win over the Kingdom, which you'd expect. You expect them to get the return win. The Kingdom after the match attack the ref. So I think we're gonna get some more stuff just moving forward with that whole conspiracy angle that the Kingdom are working. Then we get Hurricane and Marty Scurll, the villain versus the hero 2. It's a rematch. It's a big one, and it's Hurricane wins. Obviously, we assume this is to set up a rubber match, probably at Glory by Honor, which is the Honor Club event that is coming up.
Yeah.
Now, how far Marty Scurll has slid in Ring of Honor is terrible. He's still the most over guy there.
Yeah.
We've got to say that. We've got to put that on Front Street. When it comes to the crowd reaction, Marty Scurll blows everyone else out of the water.
Well, he's one of the most over guys in wrestling, period. So
yeah. And because of that, everyone was talking, like a year ago, 6 months ago, everyone was talking about how he's, for sure, he has to be the next world champion. He's got to be the guy that they're looking at next. And it doesn't look that way because here he is, losing to what is essentially a mid-card comedy act.
Right.
Like that's what Hurricane is. Even in Ring of Honor, he's mid-card. He will always be mid-card because that's the role that character plays in helping get other people over. And you assume that Marty will win the rubber match, and go on to bigger, better things. But Marty should have been above this already. This is the kind of match that, we're going to talk about Will Ferrara later. This is the kind of match that Will Ferrara as a heel should be working.
Right.
A series of 3 with Hurricane, not Marty Scurll. It's just sad to see. The matches are fantastic. The first match was really fun, and Marty works a style that works with Hurricane really well. They have a really fun match, and I imagine this match is going to be entertaining as hell.
Yeah, and Gregory hasn't he's not as what he was 20 years ago when he was picking up sneaky wins against The Rock and Triple H one night or whatever it was, but he still can go.
Of course,
I
absolutely.
like watching him. So I think he's still talented.
He's one of my favorites of all time.
Yeah.
He's one of my favorites of all time. It's not about that. It's not about whether he's good or it's just about the fact that Marty Scurll was the guy and should be still based on the crowd reaction. Right. And we know that when this happens, you see it in WWE all the time. There's someone getting incredible reactions. Rusev, for example, getting incredible reactions, and the company look like they might capitalize on it, but then they don't. And that person goes back to just doing these random mid-card feuds that no one cares about. Yeah. And slowly that reaction disappears.
Right.
Now, thankfully, Marty is, doing things like fighting for the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Championship, in a semi-main event elsewhere, right?
Exactly.
So thankfully, he's going to be able to maintain his overness, if that's a word. He's going to be able to maintain that momentum elsewhere and bring that popularity with him to Ring of Honor, so the crowd will hopefully still stay reacting. But that's assuming they watch everything else, which you can't necessarily assume.
No, that's right.
It's a bit of a rough spot for Marty, in my opinion. Yeah. He may have requested this. Who knows? He could be a huge, huge Hurricane mark and wants to work a series of 3 with the Hurricane before he goes to WWE or something like that. Who knows? Yeah. Who knows? We're never really privy to any of this stuff. We're just spouting off our opinions here. That's exactly what we do. But then we move on and we get a video package chronicling the Cheeseburger and Will Ferrara feud. Now, anyone who doesn't watch Ring of Honor regularly will probably think, Cheeseburger or Will Ferrara, why is this main eventing TV?
Yeah.
It's because they actually have a solid story here. So they were a team once upon a time, and Berger in a match accidentally showed Ferrara, and so Ferrara turned heel on him, and they've been fighting on and off ever since. Right, so it's your basic tag team broke up.
Yeah.
They used to be brothers. Cheeseburger cuts a promo about it. Like, we used to be brothers. Where I still think we should be brothers. We should be sharing opportunities. We should not be fighting over opportunities. And he asks the question, like, is it because Liger took an interest in me? Were you jealous? Right. So we have a possible motivation there for Ferrara, because over in Japan, Liger has taken an interest in Cheeseburger. Anyway, a Cheeseburger ends up winning the match. It's a fight without honor. So these two have a gimmick match for the main event. Very exciting stuff. This could be a stepping stone for Cheeseburger to move on to better things. Someone like a Shane Taylor or a Punishment Martinez. Well, Punishment Martinez is going, so probably not Punishment Martinez. But, someone who's that next step up the card.
Yeah.
This is a good way for him to go up there. Whether they'll actually capitalize on it. Again, it's one of those things where on Ring of Honor TV, sometimes you don't see a guy for 3 months.
Right.
Not seeing a guy for a month on TV is fine. On NXT, sometimes you don't see someone for a month.
Right.
But not seeing them for 3 months, that can be damaging.
Yeah, exactly. Unless they're like a multi-company guy, like a Marty or something like that, or a Young Bucks. You don't need the Young Bucks every 3 months on Ring of Honor. They will.
Yeah, no, but what they do is they put the Young Bucks and Cody on almost every week because that's where the eyes are. So it's a delicate line to walk, a delicate balance.
Yeah, exactly right.
And then I guess so that's the TV show. Cheeseburger beats Ferrara, and the other thing to talk about is Glory by Honor. It's coming up this Saturday morning. It's a Honor Club event, so if you're an Honor Club member, you'll be able to stream this one live on Saturday morning for us here in Australia, Friday night in America. And if you're elsewhere in the world, like Iran or Sweden or Japan, where some of our listeners reside, I don't know what time it'll be because I do not know those time zones. However, we'll have a quick look at the card. We've got a match here between Jeff Cobb and Eli Isom, which should be really good. Eli Isom is highly impressive. He's just like pure athlete, blue chipper kind of stock. And Jeff Cobb is, well, he's Jeff fucking Cobb. So
Fuck, he's good.
So you got to imagine that's going to be a fun little match. They'll probably open the show. It won't go for too long. The Briscoes are taking on Beer City Bruiser and Brian Malonis, the Bouncers. Bully Ray is facing Jonathan the Octopus Gresham. I've talked about this at length. The Bully Ray story is cancer, and anyone who gets involved in it is at risk of becoming less interesting, at risk of becoming made a joke. Jonathan Gresham had one of the best matches of the year just a couple of weeks ago in the 30-minute Iron Man match with the world champion Jay Lethal. If the Octopus does not put Bully Ray down easily, and if he falls to a low blow or a stupid trick, like, I know that's the story. I get that that's the story you're telling, but that story is not worth sacrificing someone as incredible as Jonathan Gresham. He's one of the best wrestlers in the world right now, and to sacrifice him at this story that no one really cares about is a bad idea. Hopefully he puts away Bully Ray easily. We'll see where it goes, but I don't feel good about this match at all.
Yeah, that sucks.
Shane Taylor versus Hangman Page. No story there that I'm aware of, but Shane Taylor's a big bruiser, and it'll be a fight for Page to overcome. They might start a story here if Shane Taylor's still doing the loaded gloves gimmick, because he had loaded gloves when he had his little feud with Josh Woods. So if he's going to continue that and Hangman Page, gets knocked out or something, you got to imagine that won't happen, though, and that Hangman Page will go over. This is just an Honor Club event.
Yeah.
Then we get Villain vs. Hero 3. Already talked about that when we talked about the TV show. So Marty Scurll versus Shane Helms, or Hurricane Helms. We've got to think Marty's going to go over here.
No.
Kenny King and Flip Gordon team up to take on the Kingdom. Got to assume they're going to continue the Kingdom story there with the Kingdom losing and blaming the referees.
Fair enough. Sounds plausible.
And then we get the main events of the evening, and that is Cody and the Young Bucks defending the 6-man tag team championships against SCU.
Well, that should be very interesting.
Yeah, I mean, it's a great match anytime it happens. So
Yeah.
definitely one to watch. That's for the 6-man tag team championships.
Really?
I don't think the titles will change hands here. I think that SCU are going to go right down to the wire
Nice.
before they get a championship on them.
That'll be good.
You know what would be interesting to me? Because I've told you about the story that they're doing there with the championship. That how they need a championship by the time their contracts expire in order to keep their jobs. It would be really, really interesting to me to see one of them challenge for the TV title so that one of them is going to keep their job and the other isn't.
That'd be interesting. I mean,
Interesting. Yeah, I don't know where it's going, but I think they're just going to win a tag team title anyway.
you could have,
And then we get
you could have one go. You could have one go for the world title. Jay
potentially.
Briscoe's Ring of Honor title legend. So
Yeah. So Jay Lethal defends his ROH World Championship against Silas Young. Jay Lethal's going to win that one, obviously. This is a continuation of the Jay Lethal, Silas Young, Bully Ray, Jonathan Gresham. Hopefully, Gresham and Jay Lethal both get clean wins here. But, the way it's been lately, you're not sure. So it's a little bit worrying that those are the matches. But Silas Young's definitely not becoming world champion. I mean, if they're not going to give it to Matt Taven, they're not going to give it to Silas Young. As much as I like Silas Young's work, he's not Ring of Honor world champion material right now. So that's Glory by Honor. That happens this Saturday morning for us here in Australia, and that's everything for Ring of Honor this week. Let's go across the pond. I believe Revolution Pro had a show at the Cockpit.
yeah, they had a few weeks off, mate. They had a very busy early September, so they pulled it back a bit. I guess most of their talent was doing other things in UK and around the world, so they finally came back to the Cockpit. This is live at the Cockpit number 33. I'll just run through some of the basic results. Again, I haven't had a chance to watch any of this. We had Josh Bowden defeat Curtis Chapman in the opener. I had Gnarly Neon Explosion, who is Chuck Mumbo. I love Chuck Mumbo. He's so good. And Cassius defeating the Legion of Lords, Cheap Deputy Dunn and Rishi Ghosh. We had Zoe Lucas, who is one of my favorite women's wrestlers in the world. She defeated Bobby Tyler. We had the RevPro British Cruiserweight Champion David Starr defeating MK McKinnon. And then we had the legendary, the great one, the great O'Khan come to TV to defeat TK Cooper. Sorry to the Kiwi, but I'm always going to support the great O'Khan. Loving his gimmick in RevPro. Love it. Team White Wolf, A-Kid and Carlos Romo defeated HXC, who is James Castle and Dan Head. And then El Phantasmo, the winner of the British J Cup, defeated Jody Fleisch. So it sounds like a solid Cockpit card. Getting some young guys the chance to headline a couple of Rev Pro matches there. So, yeah, it sounds like a decent show. I'm really keen to get onto Rev Pro on demand to get stuck into that card. But it's about what's upcoming for Rev Pro that's more exciting than what's happened. So this weekend coming on the 14th British time, so that'll be the 15th for us, New Japan teaming up with Rev Pro in Brixton, good old Brixton in Greater London, for a Global Wars show. So, yeah, that's coming up this weekend. We got matches like Mark Davis versus Satoshi Kojima. Holy shit.
Yeah, that'll be
exactly.
A good one.
And speaking of Mark Davis, and actually the next match is Chris Brooks versus Tetsuya Naito, which, holy shit, fantastic. Both Mark Davis and Chris Brooks competed in, and Jonathan Gresham, who you were talking about before, all took part in the WXW Tag League over the weekend.
Yes. Yes, which I have heard fantastic things about. I had some friends over there, some friends of the show, people who come on our This Month in Puroresu podcast, in fact, Arnold Furious. I had other people as well who went to that show, and they told me it was absolutely phenomenal. One of the main events was a world title match, and it had a 15-minute dueling chant standing ovation. It's something apparently that you got to see. So I'm definitely going to be on the lookout for this WXW World Tag.
Yeah,
League.
well, I was just going to mention that supposedly I haven't seen all the results. I don't even know who actually the full winner is. I know CCK, who is now Chris Brooks and Gresham, since Kid Likos is out injured. They got to the final. I know they lost. I just can't remember who they lost to. And supposedly Mark and Kyle, Aussie Open did very well. But back to this card. So you got Davis versus Kojima. Holy crap. Davis and Kojima is just going to be a hoss match. But Brooks and Nato, two totally different styles, should be very interesting. Then we got...
Yeah, I'm not too familiar with Brooks. Wait, sorry, it's
Chris Brooks,
right?
yeah. He's
Yeah. So I'm not too familiar with Chris Brooks' solo work. Like I've seen him in the tag team, the CCK stuff. So I'm interested to see how he goes in a solo match, especially of that caliber.
He's quite a big guy, like height wise. He's tall,
Yeah, he's
tall,
very
lanky,
tall,
and but super talented. So then the next match on the card is going to be very interesting, regarding because we're going to talk about the results of another show in a minute. But David Starr's putting his Rev Pro British Cruiserweight title up against Kushida, which is very interesting now.
Right, who's, spoiler alert, we're about to talk about it anyway, so we may as well. Spoiler alert, he's the new IWGP Junior Heavyweight Champion.
Yeah, so this is going to be perfect. IWGP Junior Heavyweight Champion versus the Rev Pro Cruiserweight Champion, so Junior versus Junior. But yeah, Kushida's got a chance to go in as a double Junior Champion kind of thing, so... Very interesting. When I saw this card, I wasn't sure if Kushida was going to get through to the final even.
Yeah, honestly, I thought that they'd go with Kushida not winning the junior tournament, and they'd go with Kushida not winning the Cruiserweight title, and that being an impetus for him to sort of go through some changes and maybe go up to heavy. Because I thought he's done all he can do as a junior, surely. He's done lots of junior tag stuff with Alex Shelley. And he's done he's had his reign, his reigns as junior champion. So I thought that maybe it's time for him to move on. But it looks like no, he's got another run, and now for junior tag league as well. Did you see he's teaming with Chris Sabin?
Exactly. So look, maybe he's going to be with the ace of the junior division worldwide. So Cruiserweight Championships could be another belt for him to collect.
I think he's the next generation Liger. For me.
Yeah. And
he could be around forever.
And a lot of New Japan fans might gasp at this. I love Liga. Don't worry about that. I love him. But Kushida is, talented-wise, is 10 times better than Liga.
I talk about this a lot on various podcasts, and I think that just in general, the talent in pro wrestling, you need to be more talented now than you did in the 90s. Just like in the 90s, you needed to be more talented than you needed to be in the 80s.
It's different. It is.
Yeah, it's getting more, and the bar is getting higher all the time.
Yeah, exactly. Well, there's 3 more matches on this card. We're getting Goto versus Zack Sabre Jr., which is going to be a fantastic singles match. Great singles match. Then we're getting a tag team match of LIJ, Evil, and Sonata. Let's see how Evil's feeling this weekend. Spoiler alert. Oh, no, we'll touch on that soon. Who are taking on Ring Camp with his Thatcher and Walter. So Evil versus Walter is going to be happening. Evil's chest is going to get destroyed. Good luck, LIJ. I feel like they're going to fall to the power of Walter. Then you got the Rev Pro British Heavyweight title match between Minoru Suzuki and Tomohiro Ishii. Seriously, 2 years ago you said that Suzuki and Ishii were going to be the main eventers on the Rev Pro cards. I would have laughed at you, but holy shit. Here we are. Fantastic card. I can't wait to get on. This will be on. This will be on New Japan World and Rev Pro on demand, both on demand. They'll both come on show later on. I don't know if there's any way to watch that live. I wish there was, because I'll be watching that straight away. 6 solid matches, but yeah, that's everything from the UK for now. Let me fly back over the Atlantic, and let's go down to Mexico. Where last Friday night...
Yeah. And we're going to look at CMLL,
Correct. Last Friday night was a big show for CMLL. It was a international Grand Prix. So they just tied in with their Super Friday show and just changed it up. I'm not going to worry about talking about the undercard. Sounds like I haven't obviously gotten to watch this. Again, just like yourself, we've been way too flat chat with Aussie Super Show and all that sort of stuff to really sit down and watch all this. So I'm just really running by the results. It's the last two matches. The second last match sounds like a cracker as well, which is 2 out of 3 falls, 6-man tag, which is El Hijo del La Parca and Mystico taking on El Clan and El Barbaro Cavernaria. So it sounds like a great match. You're learning a lot about El Hijo and La Parc in the last couple of weeks, aren't you, on Impact and on Major League Wrestling?
I haven't seen this week's Major League yet, so I'm not sure. Again, we're behind. We're behind, people.
Sure,
This
sure.
isn't news.
But-
I haven't watched this week. I tend to watch Major League Wrestling on Friday because I don't podcast about it until Saturday.
Okay.
So I'll definitely I will get to it. But yeah, so La Parca, this is I said this on the Impact Zone podcast. You probably haven't had a chance to listen to it. But I was like, I wish Big Boy Mikey was here so he could let me know. The La Parca that showed up on Impact, that was El Hijo de la Parc, right? Like it was actually his son. Because the original La Parca is now LA Park.
No. LA Joe La Parc is no. What, do they announce him as LA Park or La Parca?
They announced him as La Parca.
Yeah. There is two. It's very confusing because there is, there's all different types of booking things with his name. There is another La Parca out there. It's not the one that was on Impact. Wasn't the one from WCW. That's not that La Parca.
Okay.
The guy that plays that La Parca, is the now official La Parca. AAA own the rights to the name La Parca. CMLL have to use the name LA Park. The one that's in CMLL and the one that appeared on Major League Wrestling, the one that's on Major League Wrestling and the one that's on Impact are two different La Parcas. Yeah, it's very confusing because when one person quits... No, sorry, it is the same La Parca. My apologies. It is the same La Parca that was on Impact. It's very confusing because when one person leaves...
That's what I mean. I said on the Impact podcast, I'm not sure. Yeah. I'm not sure which La Parca this is because I get real confused. I wish Big Boy was here to clear it up. But thank you for that. Now.
I can't even clear it up because it's so fucking confusing.
So let's move on. So it's CMLL, the International Grand Prix itself.
That's the match.
Which you explained to me last week using the fantastic metaphor with the baseball, which really helped me get it. So that's awesome. How did it turn out? Yeah,
it seemed like it went great. The whole match itself went for an hour. It's a super big match. So the team International did win, which was the team of Dark Magic, David Finlay, Flip Gordon, Gilbert El Barriqua, who we worked out was from Lucha Underground. What's his name? Sorry, my apologies. This is bad.
Mil Muertes.
Muertes,
Ricky Banderas.
Yep. Also known as El Messias in the past. Yep. Jay Briscoe, Mark Briscoe, Matt Taven, Michael Elgin, and Okamura. They defeated Team Mexico. It was Caristico, Diamante Azul, El Cuarteto, El Terrible, Euphoria, Hechiquero, Sanson, Ultimo Guerrero, and Volador Jr. Yeah, so Michael Elgin was one, technically is the Grand Prix 2018 winner. He was the one who got the final pin. Like we said, Michael Elgin's stature in America may be dying, but it ain't going anywhere in Japan or Mexico. So, yeah, good on Michael Elgin for winning that. He won last defeating Ultimo Guerrero. Guys like Jay Briscoe and Mark Briscoe and Flip got eliminated quite early through the match, actually in the middle part. So I was expecting Flip to have a little bit more presence because Flip is actually very loved in Mexico. He's a very CMLL based guy. Like they love him. So look, it seemed like a great match. Again, I haven't watched it. Jump onto it's on Honor Club. I think it should be there on demand. Still there on demand. It should be awesome to watch. I'm really keen to get stuck into it. But yeah, that's a week in Mexico. Because Friday night was so heavy, they moved a lot of the bigger names to the Saturday show, and some of the Americans stayed around to wrestle a couple of shows. And this one's free on YouTube. You can watch it. The Briscoes and Matt Taven teamed up in a match against Azul, Niebla Roja, and Valiante. Also, Finlay, Flip Gordon, and Michael Elgin teamed up as a six-man tag against El Terrible, Euphoria, and Nitro too. So yes, I think Flip loves being I know Flip loves being in Mexico. I love watching his Instagram stories when he's down there. He seems very at home down there. But yeah, that's the.
I imagine he would. Yeah,
that's the week in Mexico. Let's do it. Let's go over the Pacific. Let's go to Tokyo, and let's look at the King of the Week.
Promotional consideration paid for by the following.
Sorry to interrupt the podcast, B+ players, but I just need to take a second to tell you about Threadbox. Threadbox is a subscription service for men that makes looking good easier than ever before. Just fill out a few questions to start building your style profile, and from there you will be paired with a stylist who will send you new threads once a month, so you don't have to worry about checking the stores and finding new clothes. It's like having a personal shopper and stylist at your fingertips, and you just sit back, relax, wait for your awesome new gear to arrive in the mail. They sent me a box this month. I got a new pair of jeans. I got 2 shirts. You can check out the unboxing video on the Facebook page. And the best part about it is you can get in touch with your stylist by email at any time. So if you need new singlets, if you need new long sleeves, if you need new shoes, if there's something specific you want, you just let them know what you need and they'll tailor the box to your specific requests. It's a completely personalized service available on any budget. You'll always get way more value than you pay for because Threadbox work with all the best brands. Boxes start from just $40, and if you use our code, the B+15 at checkout today, you're going to get 15% off your first box. So what are you waiting for, man? Like, if you want to look better with less effort, head to threadbox.com.au and use the code the B+15 to get your box today.
We are King of Sportscast. Let's review the King of Pro Wrestling 2018.
Kings of Pro Wrestling.
Now,
holy wow. Now, a lot of people are not liking this show. Have you seen this? Have you heard about this?
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people didn't like it. A lot of people think it's too Western now. To which I say, switch off, go away, shut up. Like, sorry, I enjoyed this show like crazy. And yeah, okay, maybe it's because it's become more Western. I don't know. I didn't watch back in 2006 or 2007. You know, I started watching like 4 or 5 years ago, and that's when people say it's started to get, it was perfect then, and now it's been ruined. I don't think it's been ruined at all. I think it's amazing, and the in-ring work and the storytelling is fantastic. I'm loving every single bit of it.
Those people they have their rights to their opinions, but I have the rights to say that their opinions suck because you know what?
Well, hey, but we love you, and we would love for you to keep listening. So you are completely valid. Everything you feel is completely valid, but it's just wrong.
I'm completely valid for saying fuck them because you know what? Okay, maybe it looked Western, but as I read the results, only one match had a winner that was just solely a Westerner. Every other match, there's one match that 3 members of a team were foreigners, but still involved a Japanese wrestler in that tag match. Every other match, a Japanese wrestler won. So I don't see how it's super Western or super,
right.
And sorry, Kenny.
I think a big thing people have been upset about is the fact that there was a triple threat. And okay, to be fair, when we get to talking about the triple threat, we'll talk about it. So
I'm gonna smash through the results, and then we'll
smash through the results, and then we'll talk about the highlights.
Because there's probably about 4 or 5 talking points throughout the results, but I'll just smash through the results. So first up, we had the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Tag Team title match. I kind of disappointed that Liga and Mask didn't pick up this one. Suzuki Gun, Desperado, Yoshinobu Kanemaru held on to their junior tag titles with a little bit of cheekiness, as always. We had Great Bash Hill, Togi Makabe and Honma defeat Juice and Hanare. Honma looked a lot better in this, getting a lot better since his return. Hanare looked good again. Then we had the 8-man tag match, Bullet Club versus Bad Luck Fale. Bullet Club of Fale, Ishimori, Tama Tonga, and Tangaloa defeating Bullet Club, Chase Owens, Hangman Page, Matt Jackson, and Nick Jackson. Then we had the 6-man tag of Chaos defeating Chaos, who defeated Suzuki Gun. Chaos was represented by Goto, Ishii, and Will Ospreay. Suzuki Gun was represented by Suzuki, Taichi, and Takeshi Zuka, crazy bastard. Then we had an 8-man tag match between LIJ and Chaos. LIJ was represented by Bushi, Sonata, Mr. X, and Tetsu Naito. We will come back to Mr. X in a minute, defeating Chaos, who was represented by Okada, Sho, Yo, and Toru Yano. Then we had the grand final of the IWGP Junior Heavyweight title tournament, in which Kishida defeated Marty Scurll. I think this is his 5th junior title run. I'd have to look back at that stat, but he continues being the ace of the division. Then we had the IWGP Heavyweight title #1 contendership match between the ace of the heavyweight division, Hiroshi Tanahashi, and Jay White, which Hiroshi Tanahashi picked up the victory. Then, yes, in a very rare occurrence, we had a triple threat match, a 3-way match that New Japan like to call it, for the IWGP Heavyweight title match between Kenny Omega, Cody, and Kota Ibushi in a 30-minute. I really enjoyed this, in which Kenny won. So, a lot to talk about. Through this card. Like I said, the 2 opening matches speak for themselves. Suzuki Gun, Despo, and Kanemaru, just typical cheeky stuff. Disappointed that Liga and Mask didn't pick up the victory, but they got to keep the tag champs looking strong going into the tag title tournament, which we'll touch on at the end. Great Bash Hill, Honma, like I said, Honma looked good. He's looking a lot better since his return. Since his return, I've been a little bit worried. He has been a little bit slow, but he's looking good.
Yeah, well, he's not going to be. He's not just going to go straight back to being.
He's getting back to his old Honma self. Liking that. Straight into this Bullet Club versus Bullet Club Civil War match. The Civil War continues. I don't like calling it Bullet Club versus Bullet Club. It's not really Bullet Club anymore. It's Bullet Club versus the Elite. Chase Owens and Yujiro, they're technically part of the Elite now. Whatever you want to call it. All 8 guys look gold here. Even Chase looked good in this match. But yeah, I'm loving. I know we got a little bit frustrated during the G1 and all that with the Bullet Club, but I'm loving it.
Yeah, but like I said, it was just because of the timing of the thing. Because of where it was, and they had to tread water, because we know that they wanted to get to this as a new stable, as a new thing, and you couldn't build throughout the G1. You just couldn't do that, so they had to tread water. It's unfortunate. But, it's the one time New Japan have tread water in the last couple of years, as opposed to, watching WWE. Like, if you, what are you going to do? Go watch WWE where they tread water constantly? Or, even like some of your programs like AJPW or Dragon Gate, where they're not necessarily treading water, but paddling furiously from person to person, trying to find something that works.
Right, exactly.
This is still probably, in my opinion, the best promotion in the world. And even with things like the instance through the G1 where they're treading water, like, look, Tama Tonga kills it on the microphone, and he has for years. He's one of the most entertaining, like in terms of entertainment. And you may not want to talk about entertainment when it comes to New Japan Pro Wrestling, but guess what? Wrestling is entertainment. It's like Vince has the right idea, kind of. He has his own model for it. But Tama is entertaining as fuck. And him leading this stable is a gold mine.
Absolutely.
For a lot of guys.
Fale, even Fale looked good in this match. I thoroughly enjoyed it. And do you know what? Like, you know I love the Young Bucks, and I know you really love the Young Bucks. I'm not saying I'm falling out of love with them or anything like that, but this reminds me that Bullet Club, no matter what, no matter how popular Matt and Nick or Kenny or Cody or Marty want to be, no matter how much Bullet Club merch that they get into Hot Topics and all that, they're not Bullet Club. This is Bullet Club. And I'm sorry, I'm not going to call them OG.
Well, I think... You ready?
What?
Bullet Club is what you make of it.
Yeah, fair enough. But for me, I hate using the word OG. I hate Firing Squad. Gorillas of Destiny, that's fair enough. That's Tama and Tanga's little tag team name. But they are Bullet Club. And this is Bullet Club, 4.0? We're at this stage, 5.0.
You know what? I'm gonna sell you on the OG initials. You ready?
Yeah.
And we'll get to the main event. Like after the main event, there's the main event, which was announced on commentary during one of the other matches for us.
Yeah.
So we'll get to that soon. But just think of it like this: the Bullet Club Oceania Group.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, I like that. Okay, fair enough.
That's what the OG stands for.
I like it.
So, so now you like it, right? BCOG, baby, right? Because I didn't like BCOG either. I was calling them Firing Squad.
Yeah,
right?
fair enough. Yes, because of your shirt.
Which, by the way, I wore my Firing Squad t-shirt to Melbourne City Wrestling, and a certain junior heavyweight wrestler said, "Nice shirt." And I was like, yeah, you bastard. All right, moving on. Moving on, because we're entirely biased when it comes to Bullet Club OGs now. We really are. Yeah. We have to put that on Front Street. We were already semi-biased towards them because they just entertain us, but now let's move on. Will Ospreay, Hiroki Goto, and Tomohiro Ishii defeat Takashi Iizuka, Taichi, and Minoru Suzuki, and Will Ospreay got the pin on the never openweight champion. You called it.
I did.
He's going to go for a match with Taichi. This is the bridge, right? This is the bridge to his match, his inevitable match with Kota Ibushi, right?
Yep. This is the bridge because I would love to see Will as a never champion, and he balances between heavy and junior. Like, this is what the never division was made for. I love it. This had the Ishii and Suzuki thing. I thought, I kind of thought about this going in. I was like, this is going to be all Goto and Ishii versus Suzuki and Taichi, blah, blah. But Will Ospreay getting the pin is just fantastic. The cat's out of the bag. We'll talk about it now, but we'll touch on it a little bit more later. Ospreay is getting a title shot on Taichi at Power Struggle.
He's going to win, right? He's got to.
He's got to win. He goes into Kingdom with a never, hopefully against Kota. That'd just be perfect.
That sounds right to me. Yeah.
Yep. Then let's get into the next one. Like we said, LIJ represented by Bushi, Sanada, Mr. X, and Naito.
And Mr. X, who called it? Why didn't we do a bet on this one? You'd owe me a shirt right now. Shingo Takagi.
Like, wow, he wrestled, Saturday night he wrestled Sunday night in Dragon Gate, wrestled Monday night in New Japan. And all props to Chris Charlton, the
author
one of the commentators of New Japan, author of Eggshells. His perfect line, the Dragon Gates have opened for the Lions Den or something like that. I was like, that was perfect. Perfectly said. God, he looks good. I don't expect him to be in the junior division for longer than about 6 months. I'd say once Hiromu's back.
So you're on the when Hiromu comes back, he goes heavy train.
He goes heavy, yeah.
See, I don't know. I like him. I like him where he is because it's going to give us some matches that I want to see. So,
yeah. But then he goes into heavy.
I want him to stick around for Best of the Super Juniors and then go up to heavy.
Yeah, I mean, he could be a guy that hangs in the middle like a never, like Ospreay. Like, get Shingo versus Ospreay.
Yeah. A lot of Shingo versus Ospreay, please. A lot of it.
Yeah, so, no, fantastic. Shingo obviously gets a pinfall on his first match on poor little show. But anyway, Yeah, great match. I loved it. Then we had, there's a missing match. If you guys didn't realize, I didn't have it on my results page.
Because it was a no contest.
We were supposed to have Evil versus Zack Sabre Jr., which would have been an amazing match in itself. Yes. However, we got something more amazing. Chris Jericho, not only does he appear as Pentagon, not only does he appear as a fan in the crowd, not only was the other thing he's done. He's done something else.
Bushi, anyway. He dressed up as Bushi at one point.
Dressed as Bushi, yeah.
He does this a lot.
He does. But dressing up as one of Evil's droids, well done to Evil's elaborate entrance.
I was wondering why he got the elaborate entrance, but then it all made sense. Look, Jericho, I don't know how I didn't call this. We knew that Evil was going to be Jericho's next opponent. We saw it coming a mile away. But still, when we did our predictions for this Evil versus Zack Sabre Jr. match, we're just both like, either guy could win. No guy wins. It's a no contest because Jericho attacks. How did we not see it coming? I'll tell you how. Because Jericho has been an absent champion, and I forgot the title fucking existed.
Yep, exactly right.
It bums me out. On one level, it bums me out. On the other level, it's exciting because now we're going to get Evil versus Jericho. So,
Yep. And because of said issues of that match too, with Nato coming in to save Evil, we also get a power struggle. Not only are we getting Jericho versus Evil for the IC title, we're also getting Nato versus Zack Sabre in a one-on-one. So that one little segment brought out two fantastic matches for the power struggle. Which is cool.
Yeah, very good. Very good. And then we got to talk about probably we don't really need to talk about it much, but IWGP Junior Heavyweight Championship final. We were both wrong. Kushida is the guy they're moving with, and we talked about it already, I guess, way back when we were talking about Rev Pro. But yeah, we thought they were going to go with Marty Scurll, and they went with Kushida. I guess Kushida's going to stay in the junior division. That's yeah.
Kushida's going to stay in division.
Which I feel like he's already done it. You know.
He has.
I really do.
Look, he's the Tanahashi of the junior division. I mean, you know, people think, Tanahashi again. People think, Kushida again. You know what? Too bad. Kushida's a fucking legend.
He is. I don't want to take anything away, but I thought,
he's allowed a couple of months title run every year if he wants.
I just hate the fact that the villain Marty Scurll is one of the most consistently over and consistently entertaining performers in the wrestling world, and he's always right on the cusp of getting that big title run or that big, but he never gets it. He's just always on the cusp. He's been on that cusp for 2 years now. You know, I just want to see him get a good run.
Yeah, exactly. But look, fantastic match. I expect Kushida to hold that all the way through to Wrestle Kingdom. Don't know who he faces at Kingdom. I have a feeling he'll lose at a Kingdom. Yeah. But I have a feeling he holds it all the way through to.
All right. Well, let's quickly just quickly. Can we do the main event now and then do the number one contendership as the final talking point?
Yeah, absolutely. Awesome. So we're gonna jump a bit. We're gonna go to the main event because whilst this was a main event match, it's not the main event story. So, Kenny, Cody, Coda. Kenny picked up the victory here by pinning Coda. Well done. I thought this match was super fucking entertaining.
Cody was just there to make this not a one-on-one match. We said that last time. But this was a good match, but I felt like it did fall prey to that whole triple threat trope of, guy takes a big bump and lays out for too long. You know?
Yeah, it does. I'm not a big fan of triple threat matches too often, but like all three of these guys.
It definitely felt special, though, seeing a triple threat in New Japan.
And I might get heat for this, but do you know who the most sloppiest was in this match out of all three? Was the greater? No, it was Kenny. I felt he was the sloppiest. Like, okay.
I didn't feel like any guy was sloppy. I thought they were all quite crisp. I don't know. Maybe we mean different things by sloppy.
By Kenny sloppy, I'm talking, instead of 10 out of 10, he was an 8 out of 10. Yeah, I'm not talking about like Bray sloppy. I'm talking about Kenny Omega sloppy. Like Cody and Coda look like fucking superstars in that match. I want Coda too at Kingdom. I want Coda Will, but I also want Coda. They pull off a good story together. Those two. There's nothing special between them two.
It's a potential, but I think we'll get Cody. He'll be defending the US title at Kingdom.
Yeah. Or
We may even get Cody versus Jericho.
yeah, or does he
Title versus title.
does he defend the NWA title at Kingdom?
Well, what if he goes with Jericho and it's all 3 titles on the line?
Wow, yeah,
Right? And Jericho puts over Cody and then goes back and does another run in WWE.
yeah,
You know? That sounds like something Jericho would be fond of.
yeah, potentially. But yeah, look, fun match. We know Kenny's not losing that title before Kingdom.
No. Yeah.
I still
I
stand
don't
by
think he's
that.
going to lose it at Kingdom either. I think he's going to hold it for a while.
Yeah, well, yeah, we'll see.
The main event of the evening, which was actually the semi-main event of the evening.
Yeah. Let's talk about the match really quickly. The match was fun. Tanahashi and White have good chemistry.
A lot of people talk about Jay White needing a star-making performance. Not just the angle after the match, but the actual match.
Yeah.
This match, I think, proves, and people will probably hand wave it, but like, it doesn't prove anything because he was against Tanahashi. Tanahashi can carry a mop. No. This match, I mean, Jay White has been consistently performing at a high level, but this match I felt like a coming out party to me, not just because of the angle, but because of the match itself. This was a high level match that delivered, that showed Jay White could main event a Wrestle Kingdom.
Right. Yeah.
My opinion, anyway.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about it. So, yeah, Tanahashi picks up the victory on White. Yeah, great match. Then after the match, we get Jay White and Gato just, pick it on Tanahashi. Okada comes in for the save. I really want to see Okada and Tanahashi do a tag match just together. Like, I want one tag match of Tanahashi and Okada versus...
No, I want them in the tag league.
Yeah.
For some reason. I just think, I don't know why, but it'd be great.
Yeah. I would like to see that. I don't think it's going to happen this year because there's no reason for Tanahashi to be in it because it's not like he can be the tag champ at Kingdom. But, yeah, and then we have we had Jado come out first.
Yeah, wearing a Rainmaker shirt.
Wearing the Rainmaker shirt, trying to play Peacemaker. Then we had the BCOGs come out, who looked like they were actually there to make their mark just themselves on Okada. Then they also flipped it. You had Fale grab Gato. You had Ishimori grab Jado, telling Okada to choose one, telling him to egg him on to beat up Gato as he went for the Rainmaker. Tama Tonga gave him a beautiful stun gun. Beautiful. Which led to the BCOGs beating down on Okada, which also led to Gato and Jado beating down on Okada in the old famous Bullet Club beatdown.
Yeah. Laying those boots in.
Just like happened to AJ all those years ago. The exact same kicking on the ground. That's what they do.
Jay White. Remember at the end of the G1, I said, unless they're leading to or throughout the G1 even, I said that maybe they're leading to Jay White and Bullet Club OGs because they both have the same shtick. They're both just causing crap. That's what they want to do. You can't imagine them not teaming up. But then I kept questioning it. Like, Jay White doesn't necessarily seem like a group guy.
No.
He doesn't necessarily seem like a group guy. He doesn't fit in with Chaos because he's not really a group guy. But then with the Gato turn, it left it wide open. Like, okay, he wants a group, but not that group. And of course, if you want a group but not that group, you go to the group that's doing the same thing you are.
Right, exactly right. And I loved when they opened up the floor for Jay White to come in. He picked up Okada, went for the switchblade. When he did his switchblade stance, he had his thumb and his pinky out like that, and then
then lifts it up across the throat.
Just beautiful.
Into the too sweet.
Just beautiful. Look, people are going to be like, "Oh God, here we go again, another." With Jay White being in Bullet Club, Bullet Club's dead. Let me tell you that Jay White in Bullet Club makes perfect fucking sense, and there's actually a little bit of a history link. So Jay White ended up in New Japan because of Finn Balor. Finn Balor, Fergal Devitt, introduced Jay White to Fale. So,
did Jay White not train with Fale as well?
Yeah, he did. He trained in the Fale gym. But he trained.
There's a few links.
He trained with Farley because of Finn. Finn was the first.
Yeah.
Finn was the first leader of Bullet Club. So
Yeah.
there's a link there. There's still that internal link. He's a Kiwi. Farley's Kiwi Tongan. That stays in it. And now we get our Australian king of kings, the friggin' Robbie King of...
Before we get to that, I just want to touch on quickly Jay White wearing the red and looking like Shinsuke. Oh, man.
Oh, yeah.
He's such a brilliant heel. Everything he does is fantastic.
Yeah.
And the question here is, who's the leader?
Jay White.
Is Jay White the leader, or is Tama Tonga the leader?
Look,
because Tama Tonga does. He strikes me as a good soldier.
Yeah.
He's not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Bullet Club has never been like, people want to say like, yeah, there's a leader.
Right.
But it's not really about it. It's about Bullet Club getting that guy to the next stage. So Bullet Club will
It's about a group of individuals causing shit.
Yeah, causing shit. And also they band together to like, the original point of Bullet Club was to get Fergal as the junior champ. Like, make sure he was protected as the junior champ. They will get Jay White to that title match. Jay White will be the IWGP Heavyweight Champion within the next 12 months, 18 months. He'll have that.
Interesting.
He'll have that, and he'll have that because of the Bullet Club. It's exactly how Bullet Club works. Kenny got it through Bullet Club. AJ Styles got it through Bullet Club. Dever got his junior title, legendary junior title reign through Bullet Club. It's the same thing. This is Bullet Club 5.0 because I think we've had Finn as the leader. Carl technically took over as the leader for a bit. AJ as the leader. Kenny, and now this is Jay's Bullet Club. But it's not so much a we follow a leader type of guy. It's a we do this for this guy. And Jay White will do what he does to get Tama and Tanga the tag title back, or he will do what they can to help Taiji and his mystery tag partner for, which we'll talk about in a second, for the junior. Like they do things for each other. That's how Bullet Club works.
Right. So let's talk about it. Let's talk about what we would consider the number one story this week. No other New Japan podcast is going to spend as much time on this as we will, although we don't have much time left. So what I think we're going to do is we're going to move the power struggle talk and the Super Junior tag talk. We'll move that to next week, the actual preview, because it starts on the day we record. So we may as well just do the preview next week.
Yeah.
So we'll do that. And let's just, for this last part, let's first of all congratulate the sniper of the skies, Australia's own Robbie motherfucking Eagles. He's in the Bullet Club. We called it. I wanted to pull the clip, but I couldn't find it. I there's a lot of things I'm doing today, but I want to pull the clip. I'll try to. We called it.
Yep.
Robbie for the Bullet Club. We called it months ago.
Yep.
And then we called it again very recently after I interviewed Robbie and felt like he gave us some clues. Thanks a lot for that, Robbie, by the way, because there's little breadcrumbs there now that people can go back and listen to.
Yeah.
And I actually did see a spike today in the listenership for both of our Robbie Eagles interviews. The first one way back when, and the new one that we did last week. Both got a spike in listeners today and yesterday. So people are Googling the name, which is good to hear.
Yeah.
And we've got the conversations there. So welcome to the B+, you guys that are listening now, because we know who Robbie Eagles is and you want to know. We've got the goss.
Yep. Mate, like we're not going to be able to hear it because New Japan will alter the music for copyright purposes. You know what they do. But I'm so excited.
In the afterglow.
I don't know if New Japan will appreciate it at the start, but if they can get that the Minoru Suzuki love in his entrance within a year, I'll be stoked.
It gets it here already. You know, it's an iconic entrance here.
Yeah.
So
look, what a fantastic way for us to end our Super Aussie weekend with getting that news. Just like you got to see him Friday and Saturday. I saw him Saturday. I was chatting to him all weekend. Look, Robbie is the most humble guy in the entire Australian scene. I still think he's still probably pinching himself at this moment.
Did you see his Instagram this morning?
Yeah.
He's like, just got my bullet coffee. It's almost
Yeah.
Too sweet.
Yeah.
I'm just like, you corny motherfucker.
Look, for anyone who wants a little reference, don't go watching PWA and don't go watching that sort of stuff.
Hey, don't say that. No, watch PWA.
No, you didn't let me finish.
Okay, sorry.
Robbie is going to be part of the Ball Club. He's going to be a little bit more, what's the word, aggressive than what you would see in a PWA ring. So watch PWA for his in-ring skills. Trust me, that's 100% watch PWA for that. Watch Newly Pro for his heel work. He'll have to do a little bit more heel work in New Japan, and I like Robbie heel. Robbie's nice and aggressive. He's not a cocky heel; he's aggressive, and I like that.
Yeah,
you know.
And look, we've seen glimpses of it recently with him pulling apart the legs and working on the legs and hitting that 450 to the leg.
Exactly.
Right? Like if you watch the PWA Call to Arms match, we saw glimpses of that in his match with Will Ospreay. And it's almost like the arc he's on at the moment is realizing that he needs that.
Yeah. And
to really to get to it, because what he wants to do is what we want to do. He wants to put Australian wrestling on the map. He's such a good dude. But in order to do that, he will be a prick.
Yeah.
I believe that. And I believe that we're going to see him be a prick in New Japan.
Absolutely. Look, so, I know we're going to touch on, like, we'll expand on the Super Junior Tag Tournament, but I just want to, can we just release the 8 teams that have been announced?
Yeah, absolutely. I just want to say quickly, while we're still on Robbie Eagles and Taiji Ishimori, if there's one thing he picks up from tagging with Taiji Ishimori, one move to steal, it's that neck twist where Taiji gets them on the floor with his feet and twists the neck. I want to see Robbie bring that home because that's such a great... I love that move so much, and I'll mark for it hard if Robbie starts doing that move. So Robbie, if you're listening, that's what I want.
Yeah. Absolutely.
But moving on.
Yeah.
Let's look at the field for the Junior Tag League, and then let's call it a night.
Yeah, absolutely. So just a quick little note. We'll touch on it more next week. This is actually a Super Junior Tag League, which they don't do. It's not usually a league. It's usually a single elimination tournament. That's what the Super Junior guys do. Then you get the World Tag League. But they're just doing one block, well, not multiple blocks like G1 or World Tag. It's one block of 8 teams. So you got the tag team champions of Despy and Yoshinobu representing Suzuki-gun. Then you got Sho and Yo from Roppongi 3K/Chaos. You got Liga and Tiger Mask, aka the Legends. You got Bushi and Shingo Taka. How do you pronounce it? Takagi, isn't it? Takagi.
Yeah.
They'll be representing LIJ. Then you got the team of Kushida, the new IWGP Junior Champion, tagging with Chris Sabin, one of the greatest tag champions in independent North America, with Alex Shelley, who used to be a member of Kushida's tag partner. And then you got a team of ACH and Razuki Taguchi representing Taguchi Japan. And then you got a CMLL team of my boy Volador Jr. with now a shaved head. And Soberano Jr., both fantastic high flyers, love them. And then, the 8th team is Bullet Club represented by Taiji Ishimori and Robbie fucking Eagles. Just a spoiler alert, next Tuesday we'll be recording as the first show is, but Robbie Eagles' first fucking match with Taiji Ishimori is against Tiger Mask and Justin Thunder Liger. I'm pretty sure Robbie wasn't born when Liger's career started. Awesome. Like that's awesome. And look, tagging with Ishimori, like you said, not just picking up that neck move, but he's going to pick up so much from Ishimori. He's going to be in a stable with fucking Gato.
Yeah, it's insane. And look, I don't think this is just going to be one tour and done. There's no way Robbie doesn't impress. There's no way Robbie doesn't pull out everything. No. If this doesn't lead to Robbie in the Super Juniors, I'll eat a shoe that he's done a shoey from. Like straight up. It's a lock at this point. I'm so happy for the dude. And if anyone wants to know more about Robbie Eagles, you can always listen to our Aussie Grapps episodes every Friday, 2 of which he actually features on as an interviewee. He was our first interviewee, and he was our first repeat interviewee this last week. So if you want to go back just a week ago, he talked about having a mentor relationship with Bad Luck Fale. he talked about being more OG than Gino Gambino. It was in reference to MCW, but I knew something was up. And I called him on it after we got off the phone, and he kayfabed me hard. He's like, "Oh, I don't know what you're talking about, man. I was just, just talking. Just he's acting as if he's not dropping clues, but he dropped those clues, and it's a too sweet interview. So you definitely got to check it out. That's going to do it for us here for the King of Sportscast. Mikey, where can people find you?
At bigboy_EST86, as you made me realize last week. Thank you. On Twitter. And at Big Boy with an extra Y on Facebook.
And I am at Greg Unchained on Twitter, at the Greg Unchained on Instagram. We collectively are the B Plus Wrestle on Twitter because wrestling wouldn't fit. The B Plus Wrestling everywhere else, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Spotify, you name it, we're there. Find us, track us down, give us a 5-star review on iTunes if you feel so inclined. And thank you so much for listening.
In the afterglow.